Unlike men, women actually have to be asked to run for office. Very few women put themselves forward. And so you have to actively go out and recruit them. So you'll see a lot of men sort of raising their hands and saying, I want to run, I want to run. With women, a lot of the recruiters that I've spoken to have said with women, they really ask 1,000 questions before they even consider running. What would it be like for their families? What would it be like for their jobs? What would it be like for their incomes? What happens with their children? Do they have to move? What are the schools like? And so it takes a lot of convincing to get a woman to run for office versus a man. So the good news is that there is, in the recruiting process, increasingly a number of women running who are young mothers, which has actually been the hardest demographics to get people to run because they obviously have young children. They don't know that they want to be running for Congress, let alone working Congress, which seems like an intense job, or running for president, running for governor. Any of these offices are very, sort of hardcore. But you see a lot more younger women running now because they feel that not only can they balance work and life because their husbands are stepping up more to help take care of the kids and do the houseworks, but also they feel that they've come to realize that these jobs are actually pretty flexible. So you can, unless you're voting, you can pretty much do anything you want with your schedule. You can go to your kids' soccer games and then do your work later on. You can have your meetings in the morning. You can have them in the afternoon. You can, so the schedule flexibility tends to be really key to women. And in that sense, politics is a really good thing for them. So hopefully you'll see a lot more women going into this. And you see certainly a lot more women going into the public sector these days than the private sector. So that is some reason for hope and some good news. My study group discussions are based off of a book that I'm writing, which is essentially about how women reach a tipping point. So somewhere between 20 and 30%, women begin to really change outcomes. Less than that, and they don't really have an impact. But more than that, they change outcomes vastly. So for example, in the last session of Congress, the 113th Senate, you saw there were 20 women in the Senate for the first time ever. They actually not only ended the government shutdown, but they also produced 75% of the major pieces of legislation in the Congress. So they really batted above their weight, and that sort of shows you what the power of that tipping point. My book actually looks at that phenomenon, but also looks at it in corporate boards, on Navy ships, on appellate courts, and how women are really beginning to change the way that we govern, manage, and command. And so if you want to come and learn more about this, you should come to the FDR room, which is in the Institute of Politics, Thursdays at 4 o'clock.